Saturday morning and you're off again.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I'm putting the size on, then I'm going to have the coffee that you're going to make me,
Oh, lucky me.
and then I shall do some more gold.
Right.
But I wanted to get here before they come back on Monday to do the fireplace.
Oh, Brian and Laura, yes.
But you can see I've been doing really well. It's going quite quickly.
Yeah.
I've got some touching up to do around the white paint around here.
Okay.
But I've gone all the way around to that corner. So it's not taken as long as we thought originally.
As we thought, as you thought.
But if you look in that corner over there, where
Yes.
I've been playing with paints and colours for the last few
Months.
I tried some more detail in the flower bit above the gold balls. It was a
yes.
washed antique gold on the left and a washed yellow gold on the right.
Yeah.
But they make it look dirty.
Correct.
So I am actually deciding to keep it white, that trim above, but the trim below, where the hearts are, below the gold balls, I'm still playing with that.
Yeah, so that's what I call those large balls, yes. Underneath the small ones, okay.
Oh, now I've forgotten where I've got to with my glue.
But I think you're right. Personally myself, I actually quite like that just being white up there. It was nicely detailed anyhow. But will you still do the pearl or something in the corner? Like I see you've obviously done one, it looks like up there.
Yeah, I can go back to it.
Right,
But
okay.
come over here.
Come over here.
Come
I
over
will
here.
say this only once.
You can see that I'm using, the size that I'm using is actually clear, so it's quite difficult to see where you've been and where you've put it. But I have discovered, it was actually Laura and Brian that told me, because they've done gilding before, you can actually buy coloured size. So next time, if I've got a whole pot here, it's going to last forever, but I could buy a yellow ochre coloured size,
Right.
which would also, you could use, instead of having red paint underneath, you know, you would use red paint
Yes.
to bring out the gold.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have to, because you can actually get red size,
Oh,
but I could have used yellow ochre size.
right. But you've got so much there,
But
you're just going to stick with what you got.
I've got so much here, I can see where I'm going because it's covering up the pearl and making it dull, which is really sad because it does look really nice, the pearl.
Well, you're still going to use pearl, aren't you, to bring bits out? Because the pearl is nice, and where you don't want it sort of in your face, it's quite subtle with the pearl, isn't it?
So here's my confession.
Oh, okay.
I started going away from the pearl trim because it reminded me of a wedding cake that I'd designed for our 30th anniversary.
Oh, and it was so bad you didn't want to eat it? Oh dear. I think what you're doing looks great. From down here looks great. I agree with the murkiness on that pattern design. Looks a bit dirty, but we'll leave that au naturel. Down to the fireplace. I'm just going to show the fireplace, Carol, quickly. So Brian's put all the bricks in, ready to put a linter across the top. A bit hard to show. I'll see if I can come lower because the ladder and everything. Carol's in the way. You can see that's all put in. The bottom of the marble, ready to build up. So actually on Monday, get all that built up. And then we can get the framework in, which needs cleaning up, which is just leaning at the back. I've got myself a bit of a challenge. I have to give this some real thought because the marble, between the marble and the back, the original what I would call tomettes, I need to find a way of filling in, and I'm not sure how at this present moment how to do that. And I'll explain why. Because we had to put a concrete base in, the tomettes that would have gone in there will sit too high. So I've got some thinner ones, which we can use because we're not doing an open fireplace. But again, there is a lip there. So I'll have to give that some thought. Hopefully it will come to me. I did think about actually laying in a self-leveling concrete and actually drawing or scribing the pattern of the stones at the back. So it sort of gave the impression that actually it still had stonework in there, and then it will be level with this marble here, which is the same height as at the back. So that is an option, but I'll give that a little bit of thought before I rush into that. As I said, they're down there Monday, they're back here Monday, and hopefully we'll have something really pretty to show you. It's raining gold. Oh, it's so sparkly.
Ready?
£1, £2, £3. You on your last bit then, darling?
So actually,
Yes.
that only took, that whole strip round only took,
How many days?
oh, I was talking of materials, 2 books worth of gold leaf. So that's 55 sheets, and I've got a little bit left.
Cool. I guess what's on my shopping list when we go back then, I guess?
Now I've got tax for that.
Oh, good.
Don't worry, don't worry. But for the time being,
All done. Is that what you're saying? For the time being?
that's done. I've then got to go round it again and touch up the bits where I've accidentally put it on the ceiling or the trim.
Oops. Okay. And then, did I hear, I'm sure I heard you saying you were going to re-gold foil the is it pelmets?
Pelmets.
Yeah? Wow, that's going to have a bit of a bling up there.
Yes, but for now, I'm coming down.
In this slide, it's really obvious, in fact that corner's even more obvious, the pearl you've done in the corner. But actually, the sun's come round a bit more now. It's amazing how it changes, but that one up there is really obvious, which is actually great. So I'm going to guess you'll concentrate on a few more pearls.
No, so what I'm going to do next
Yeah, go on then.
is
Make me a drink.
get my gold paint and decide which bits of these I want to gold leaf. But I'll gold paint them first to see what it looks like.
Good idea, yeah. Yeah, otherwise I could get the Hoover out and you could probably collect a whole sheet from down here on the floor. So, bright and early this morning, Matt, Beth and Millie have gone back to the UK. So it's Carol and I back to, unfortunately doing small words. Hello! Are you stalking me again?
No, I'm busy doing bedding.
Alright, so Carol's doing the clear up. We have Brian and Laura in today downstairs doing the fireplace. But what I'm going to do today, we're just sort of doing odd jobs still because the dreaded grandson is coming over. And then it is full on, isn't it, darling? But these doors have always been annoying us. They never shut properly. We can't close them. And it's nice to have them at night completely shut so that we don't have the breeze banging around. So that's my job today. I think we'll take them off, sort them out. The hinge is broken at the bottom and get them to hopefully close correctly. Have you finished with them?
No, I think it's just warped. They do actually shut. It's just warped in the right place.
Yeah, look at the bottom hinge.
Yeah, that's broken.
I know, so I need to take it off and repair that. So we might as well take them off and then maybe give them a little bit of a clean. Okay, first door off, thank God. Came off better than I thought, actually. Usually the screws, when they're been in for so long and rusty and paint's all over them. I usually use my multi-tool and actually, there it is. And then just literally just groove some of the heads back in, the slots back into the heads. Makes life a bit easier. I'll clean out the fixtures, might as well while it's out. Might give this door a little bit of a bling. Get a bit of advice off Carol first, because sometimes she doesn't like me to rub it right the way back, so I'll just wait for her. But the fixings, etc., the original for the door, I might as well clean all that up. I've started cleaning this up, which clearly says what a difference it makes. So it's not a lot of effort to do that, but I think it does make a big difference. And then the plate also on there. And then see what Carol says about painting it before I put it back. So I'll just get a video cleaning this up and you can see what a difference it makes. In fact, it's really pretty actually when it's cleaned up, but I'll show you. Right, so that's made a difference. No point watching all of it being done, but if I get it back to that steelwork, it's lovely. And in fact, I've done it on the hinge. And again, it comes up a treat. So I'll do that on all the fixings here, and then we'll give the woodwork a sand back. Right, that's the door pretty much repaired. One bit at the end, I'll just leave that another, I don't know, an hour, and then that'll be hardened off. Hinges all taken off, cleaned up, oiled up, so they're working nicely. I started taking it back. Well, I have taken it back to the wood here, stripped off the paintwork, as you can see. Haven't done this side because although it looks lovely, I mean, I love just seeing natural timbers. But Carol just reminded me that if I take all this back and we leave it natural, then really it's got to match in with all the other doors up there. There is approximately 50 doors just on that hallway that would have to be stripped back to the wood. So might just hold that thought for the moment and consider that later on. But I'm going to put it back up anyhow and see how it looks. Well, that's the door fix, hung correctly now. Sorted out the bottom part of the bracket, cleaned up the fixings. Not sure if they actually work as well in here. I think they stand out too much, but that's over to Carol. At least we've got something she can work with. And the moment of truth, as well or not, yay! The door shuts. Pretty flush. That won't be banging around. Another one off the tick list. Colour-wise, as I said before, I love the timber, the natural timber, but I think it needs to be painted. It actually doesn't work here, in my opinion anyhow. It's a very light door. We could stain it or bring it back with a wax, but with everything else that's going to be in the framework, the panelling, as you can see on the sides, the door that's into best room, although it may not be grey, I think all of this will be painted.
Now we've decided to do the gold leaf, I'm going to try different bases. So I've got this strip here that I've primed. So I'm going to try the gold leaf on white, on some yellow ochre, and obviously the red that you often use. So Adrian picked these up in England for me really cheap. I think they were about £1 a pot. So I'm just going to put some on here quickly and then let it dry. And then we can see which looks better in different lights. So this yellow ochre is almost a mustard colour. This is on advice from Laura and Brian, who did the fireplace for us. He was telling us yesterday that he actually did all the gold leafing on top of the Jubilee boat for the Queen that was 10 years ago. And we saw that boat that she travelled on down the Thames for her Jubilee, and it did look spectacular. So to be able to say that he's done that is quite some achievement. So there's the yellow ochre. Now I'll put some red on. This is like blood red. I had a bit of an accident with this paint not so long ago. As I opened it up, it splattered all off over the wall. So we'll let those two dry, and then we'll get some gold leaf on top and see how it looks. So the sides is now all tacky, so I'm going to apply the gold leaf. When I do this properly, obviously I will be taking more care, I'll first have to put all the gesso around this trim. Goodness knows how many coats. That's going to take quite some time. actually can't see much difference. Can't see the results, but for me the middle one is probably the best to go for. The red you can see underneath if I don't cover it properly. The white, it doesn't do it as much as for me as the middle yellow ochre does, so we're going to do that as a base, yellow ochre. I've worked out that each panel here is going to take about 5 sheets, maybe a bit more, of gold leaf. Let's say 7 sheets, but obviously first the gesso, then the paint, and then the gold leafing. It's a long job, but we'll get there.